put a stud here, and you put a stud on the other side of that 2x4 with a block between it.
Oh, crap that we can't use anyway.
Right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right, that's what our idea is, to use
This
scrap.
hasn't been explained to them, so this is a good.
So this 2x6 right here,
that could have been three.
that
different
cost me
things.
$10 or $15 for that stupid board right there.
So you're saying that could have been just
3 blocks.
3 blocks of
16-inch
2x4s.
blocks. And I've explained this to I don't know how many times, but they haven't done it yet.
Of 2x4 or 2
2 by well, that
you
would be
still,
a 2x6.
You still do a 2x6.
Right.
You'll see at the bottom left, see the orange boards? That's the kind of blocking that he's talking about, and you'd put those there, a cut piece of 16-inch there, and then as the wall goes up, you'd space it out, put another 16-inch piece of block, and then another piece above that. So that's kind of the channel blocking he's talking about. You can see that in the picture on the top right on that same page. Short pieces of stud stock, right? They're saying it's about 3 inches. Dan's saying just use 16-inch pieces, 3 of them, because it's an 8-foot wall. Boom, boom, boom. And then there's space, and it uses up those scrap pieces of 2x4 that people keep putting in the trash and I keep pulling out. 16-inch pieces. That's it. 3 of them.
And that's basically what you need to nail something into. That's all it's there for.
Yeah, it's simply there for nailing, screwing. Yeah, question, Jordan. This is side. I'm talking
I would
sideways.
put 2 studs on the side, just enough for a 2x4 to fit in the middle.
Correct.
Instead of putting a full 2x4, you only use pieces of it.
Correct. Use your scrap.
We're doing interior walls. We're trying to make a rough opening for a pocket door. That's the first time that we've done a pocket door. That's where your door doesn't swing in or out. It actually just slides into the wall. So this will be here. It will have drywall on it. It'll look just like the wall. Only difference is it's just kind of a space saver. So you're just gonna slide that door in, come in. This is where your bathroom will be. And so in tight spaces like this, it's just behooves you to have that sliding door, that pocket door. The pocket, it's not really a sliding door because a sliding door you would be able to see it. The pocket door, you open up that door and it goes inside the wall and you don't see it at all. So that's what we're looking for on the rough opening. I'm just kind of opening these up. The wood that we're using has a little moisture to it, so it's a little bit wider than normal, and then any curvatures that are there, I'm going to try to bang those out and nail these in. I've only got a couple nails in here just because I'm trying to make sure that I'm plumb and I'm level, and that it also lines up with the other interior walls that I have. This is a 2x6 wall that you're looking at there because that has plumbing inside of it. So the only walls that you would actually have 2x6s for, unless you specifically asked for it, would be exterior walls. Those would be 2x6 on the site-built home. And then it would be for plumbing. Plumbing walls also need to be 2x6 because that allows for proper venting and the insulation to be inside of that wall as well. So if you have a 2x4 and you have plumbing inside of that wall, then you're not going to be able to have the proper insulation and the water lines and the ventilation lines that push the water through. So this is the first one that we've done with the interior walls. Emilio's been working on the blocking for me so that we can anchor those into the top. But yeah, it's been a big learning curve. All right, so on these interior lines, we come through and we chalk them all first. So you can see here that there's some red lines. These 2 red lines are here. We had red lines coming this way as well, and then we had 2 marks. I got 2 pencil marks here. That was supposed to be the end of this wall. The blueprints, from what I read, I thought that's what it was, but this wall actually comes to this red line here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna make a cut here, and then I'm gonna make a couple of channel pieces to where that 2x4 will come up here and here. A channel piece is blocking for this wall that's going to be coming this way. So it gives two walls the ability to join together, if that makes sense. So you got an interior wall that join together here. This is kind of a prime example of what I'm talking about. This 2x6 plumbing wall joins together with this 2x4 interior wall, and you need to make channel blocking for that to where these two walls will be able to connect together. So that's what I'm going to be working on here. I'm going to be cutting this a little bit shorter. I'm having to cut it back so that it meets up properly with the bifold closet doors. The markings on the ground from the original plans weren't exactly what we had anticipated, so that happens a lot. You get blueprints printed out. We haven't built them on site before, so then you try to put it all together, and then you got to make adjustments in the field. It happens on every construction site that there ever was. So basically that's where I'm at right now. I'm having to adjust to make it fit actually in the field. So basically I'm just measuring the bottom so that when I go up to the top and I make that same cut over here so I can put in my channel blocking for that wall to go this way, it's the same top and bottom. So that was that measurement that I was making right there.
Yeah, but you wanted that to be 16-inch pieces. Is that what?
Here's this. What purpose is this serving? Because they're going to be as wide as these two tubes.
It's a corner nail for you to nail your wall off. It's just a way to put a corner piece in. Your other option would be to take this and turn it this way,
All right.
like that. But put your other stud on the end. They'll turn it. Turn it.
I got glass on there. Like this?
Yeah, and do this one right against it like that.
Yeah, that's what I was...
That makes another channel.
Right, okay. That way in my mind is what I was thinking of for you to be able to screw into. Okay, but you don't want me to...
The reason we do a stud block stud, it makes a stronger channel.
Ah, a stronger end piece for it. Okay, I'll do it that way then. Your bottom plate, if you put a bottom and a top plate just like normal, it all works out. Because you're gonna cut here and then the bottom starts there. Does that make sense?
So it'll just look the same. I'll just have this on the bottom.
Just do your top and bottom plate,
That's what I'm saying,
just
I
like that.
Cut it off and cut it off.
Yeah, but then when you mark these 16s, which I guess only need 24s, you're gonna just mark these as cripple, 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 because normally if it was on the bottom, we just mark it as an X.
Yeah.
Cripple, cripple. Then when you get to the end of your 66.5, then you're gonna make trimmer. After the trimmer, you know that's where you cut. we're still just working on the blocking here. The blocking's just about to go in. I cut back the wall already. The blocking is gonna, once I get 2 more pieces on here, I'll have 4 pieces of blocking. I'll put it in here. That'll give us a place for this wall to join to, and you're gonna see that here in just a few minutes, and then it'll all make sense to you once you can actually see it. So Dan came in, explained some things to us. We haven't done interior walls before. There's a right and a wrong way of doing it. And this is the right way of doing it. So once I get it up here, you guys are gonna take a look at it and it'll all make sense to you. All right, so this was the blocking that we were talking about earlier. So it's, I don't know, maybe 30, 45 minutes later, we have a piece of 2x4 here, piece of 2x4 there, and then we have blocking in between. The reason for that is it makes a rigid corner. Rigid meaning that it's non-pliable, it doesn't move, it's gonna stay put. The integrity of it's really strong. And then also the main purpose of it is now, if you can imagine, now that you can see this, between these 2 red lines here that we've talked out earlier, you're gonna now have a 2x4 that turns, let's see, do I have another 2x4? Let me see that 2x6. Imagine this is a 2x4 that now is gonna go this way. So now I have something to screw in here, here, in the middle, and that 2x4 is going to go all the way up to the top. So I can screw here and here, right into the middle. So I have something that's going to give this good integrity, and it's going to be very, very strong. To where, as if this was over further, so if my wall was supposed to, by the blueprints, come here, it's just going to go all over the place, right? So we created blocking to where this has something real rigid to come up against. We screw into that, and now we're structurally sound every direction that we go. That should make a lot more sense now that you've been able to see it. Okay?
Very cool. So it's going to be one more, like, it looks like that much more of one solid unit.
What's that?
It looks like that much more of one solid unit.
Right. So what structure right now on what we have is going to be the glue limbs, top and bottom, and then the 4x4 posts. Those are what is load bearing right now. And then on the inside on this one, because it's not 2-story, these are all non-load bearing, but you still want them to be rigid, you still want them to be strong. So in an effort to do that, this blocking is going to go up top in between the ceiling joists, the eye joists up there. So we're going to screw in that way into these blocking up top, and then we're going to block the corners or wherever the walls come together, just like this one over here, and that's going to make those real rigid as well. just go over the blueprints really well. And then if you're building your own home, or if you're planning on working in the field and doing those things, I would say not to let you get you down if the blueprints don't exactly work in the field. That's what you have a general contractor for. That's what you have these subcontractors for. And if you're knowledgeable, you guys can work through that. Everything is about adapting out into the field and making sure that the job gets done. That's the biggest thing. It's just don't give up, don't get frustrated. There's always what we think is going to happen, and then there's what really happens in the field. And then what kind of defines you is what do you do to achieve the end goal, even though you had to change certain things to get there. So if there was one thing that I would say to everybody out there in that industry or building a home, is to just not give up, and where there's a will, there's a way. Adapt, change, and get the job done.